So a couple of days ago, I actually put out a video about how a Tokyo Ghoul remake could actually come out. And so since that video, a lot of people were telling me, oh, this shit is fake. All the stuff I'm saying is fake and this is not going to happen. Well, a couple of days after that, it was revealed that one of the leakers I was actually talking about had actually said there was no IP for a Tokyo remake and Tokyo remake's very unlikely and it's probably not going to happen. And they were saying that shit. But then I woke up today on a mysterious morning, and I find out that the Tokyo Ghoul anniversary project will be announcing something on July 3rd. So I was one day off. It's not July 4th, but it's July 3rd. Well, that's perfectly fine because honestly, I'm going to talk about this. So if you guys like this type of content, please make sure like and subscribe, and let's get right into this. So it turns out that in my video I made a couple days ago, I made a claim that it was going to happen on July 4th, and it didn't happen on July 4th. It's actually happening on July 3rd. I don't know if that's like had to do something with Japan timing or something, but it doesn't really matter like that because July 3rd and July 4th are just one day apart. And the reason why I thought it was July 4th was because Anime Expo, the day where they announce animes, give anime news, is that day. And that's also the day of Tokyo Ghoul Anime's 10th anniversary. Now, my new idea with this is, so July 3rd, I feel like they're going to maybe announce something. I don't know. Maybe they might announce it, and then on Anime Expo, they might release a trailer or a PV or something like that to hype it up even more. Now, listen, take it with a grain of salt because, again, now that it's officially been confirmed that something is happening on July 3rd and July 4th, now we just have to figure out what the hell it could be. Because Period is still retweeting these posts made by the 10th anniversary project page. Now, since Period is retweeting it, I remember I had a theory a while ago saying that Period Films is actually going to be the studio that is going to be doing this Tokyo Ghoul remake. Now, a lot of people don't know what Period Films is. Basically, in an article, it was revealed a while ago, a producer of Period came out and wrote an article saying that Period is basically looking for a revamp. They want to make anime like Demon Slayer, like Jujutsu Kaisen. They want to give their workers a proper schedule and make them be able to execute the stuff, right. So basically, they've been doing that for Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, starting Core 3. Core 3 was supposed to have been out right now, right? It should have been out. It was out. The last core was out in summer last year. So it should have been out by now, right? But instead, they decided to delay it so that they could take more time on it and actually refine it and make Core 3 actually something special, something that completely transcends the other cores, which I think is a very good idea. And they also feel like this idea will end up ramping the whole studio's image up. And what they're doing now is dividing teams. Well, not dividing, but it's basically like making a whole nother studio for Bleach and for those elite projects that they want to succeed. In that article, it says, in recent years, we have only worked on Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, and Tokyo Ghoul. So that's where my idea of Tokyo Ghoul being in Period Films comes from. The more evidence that I have about Tokyo Ghoul being under this Period Films is that Period Films in this article essentially talks about revamping Studio Period's image in the anime studio world and just stuff like that. So what better way would it be to revamp, your whole studio's image other than completely giving the fans what they want? The fans you absolutely destroyed with the first adaptation, to actually redeem yourself and give them a masterful adaptation in the second one. I feel like that would restore your studio's image completely. And listen, I know a lot of people are raising their eyebrows. Oh, but it's still Period, but it's Period Films though. It's going to be, hopefully, we have a completely different team, a way better time schedule, way more episodes compared to manga chapters, and just like overall time. What's really needed is passionate people and time. The studio isn't really that big of a deal. What really is a big of a deal is the talent of the people producing it, the passion they have in the work, and the amount of time that they have given to do the work. As long as we have time, honestly, I don't care if it gets announced on July 4th, July 3rd. I mean, I really do love it. I really do care. But I wouldn't care if they said it was coming out 2026, 2027. I would gladly wait 3 more years. For a project that I know will be completely refined to perfection by that time, I would definitely wait an entire 3 years just for that shit to come back. So honestly, bro, I'm just saying, this Period Films thing is not just regular Period. So listen, if it ever gets announced by Studio Period rebooting it, then do not be surprised and don't be worried. Trust me, it'll be Studio Period Films, a completely different studio from Studio Period, and but people who probably care, according to this report. The other thing I was talking about was how Crunchyroll is posting a finished anime like Tokyo Ghoul a lot more than other animes. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen Crunchyroll post a finished anime, like that's completely done, a finished manga that's completely done, more than they posted Tokyo Ghoul. And every time they post Tokyo Ghoul, it usually does more numbers than their other tweets or their other YouTube posts or their other Instagram posts, right? It does more likes than that, which I feel like could be a tactic of marketing or just finding out if the fandom's alive. You know what I mean? And they're constantly posting these bait polls like, oh, what anime would you like to see returning or something like that? You know what I mean? I just look at this, maybe this is the cope in me, but I look at this as marketing and trying to see the demand for the remake. Every time they post Tokyo Ghoul, a remake is in demand. Everyone's talking about a remake and basically nothing else. So yeah, I really do think that Period is behind the reboot and Crunchyroll will be having the rights to the Tokyo Ghoul reboot. Now let's talk about the actual reboot, what I want to see. As I said in my other videos, I want prestige animation. I want animation, if you take your time, that adapts the manga to a T. I also don't want stiff animation. Like I know Bleach has some stiff animation sometimes, but that's when they weren't with Period Films. They were with Studio Period, right? So who knows how good Period Films could do with Bleach, but honestly, bro, I want unstiff animation, animation that perfectly captures the vibe and the art of Tokyo Ghoul. I want a good dub, because a good dub can take a series a long way. You know what I mean? Nowadays, there's a lot more Western watchers of anime than there were back in the day. So a good dub could actually help more people who don't usually watch anime get into anime, so they don't have to watch Japanese, read subtitles. They could just watch in English. You know what I mean? That's how most of these popular animes get really popular with, you know, fucking Attack on Titan, Death Note. You know what I mean? There's a lot of animes who have a lot of good dubs. Now, the second thing I want to see is 24 episodes in season 1. I've said this time and time again. Series like Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer have adapted 26 episodes in their first season, 24 episodes in their first season, adapting less chapters than I want Tokyo Ghoul to adapt in the first season. Now, what I want the first season to encompass is the whole story from black-haired Kaneki's journey all the way through his torture to Jason and ending right after that scene. The same thing as season 1, but with proper pacing, proper explanation, proper animation, proper music. This will be a roller coaster of a season. And when we get to that final episode where everyone's waiting for white-haired Kaneki to pull up and he finally pulls up, the hype will be unreal. Right? The hype will be unreal and people will be asking for season 2. And also it's pretty poetic because we start this, it's kind of like a Thorfinn progression where we start the season with Thorfinn being very depressed and then we end the season with Thorfinn saying, oh, I have no enemies, you know, his ideology completely changing. So yeah, like I feel like this will be a blockbuster hit of a season if done right. But yeah, guys, so basically what I want to really see is the 24 episodes, great compositing, great time, great animation, great music, basically everything you'd want in a good anime. But the main thing is just 24 episodes, right? That 24 episodes make a big difference in the popularity of the show, and just the story of the show will come together better as we adapt half of part 1 in season 1, half of part 2 in season 2. So then part 1 will basically be done like 2 seasons, then we can get to Re. So yeah, that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. And yeah, man, I'm excited for this shit. If any new news comes out, I'll let you guys know. Anyways, turn on the post notifications. Bye.